Okay, I'm just gonna redo this whole thing. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is going to be another quick tips video. I enjoy making these because it's a good way to reference people to just like short answers to certain questions they may have about my weight loss journey. And I don't know, it's just a good refresher sometimes to watch these videos or have them as just like quick tips for your weight loss journey. So I really enjoy doing these and I hope you guys find them helpful. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that today we're talking about 3 of the biggest mistakes I was making that were keeping me from losing weight. So before we get started, if you enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that. And let's just go ahead and start talking about the 3 biggest mistakes I was making. So the first mistake, and this actually goes with Adam as well because we pretty much have a very similar story the past few years with our weight loss journey. And so one thing that was a huge issue for us was the picking a day to start, and that day never came pretty much. So many times when we would try to lose weight, we'd say, okay, it's Friday, let's just enjoy the weekend and we're gonna start on Monday. Or it's the last week of October, starting in November, we're just gonna stick to it. Like, we would always look ahead to the future and plan to start at a certain point, and that always kept us from actually sticking to it and committing to it. And that's what was so different this time around for us. So when we started WW, it was probably like 2 in the morning that I was just looking at my phone and I found that they had the app version. And then first thing the next morning, I brought it up to Adam and we started that second. We were like, okay, let's do it. Let's just do it right now. We're not gonna do our last cheat meal. We're not gonna, because that's what we always did. Before we were trying to like change our lifestyle or start a diet or start a new like plan, we would always have giant meals before that were like our cheat meals that were like, this is like our final feast that we can have before we start starving ourselves is what we thought it was going to be like. And so this time around, we didn't do that. We just said, no, we're starting right now. Our first meal that we have right now for breakfast, we made a healthy breakfast. And we just went from there and started learning WW and tracking and everything. So that was a huge difference. And I hear a lot of people say that a lot of the times. And I find that the people who just go for it and just do it that day have a lot more success than just like putting it off, because there's so many times, like I said, you want to have like these last meals, the last drinks, like you fill up on all this stuff and then you get to the day you're supposed to be starting. Maybe you do stay on track for like a week or so, but it's just so much easier to just keep pushing it off. I don't know. Personally, that's how it worked for us, and it held us back. And so I really think if you're gonna make the change, just do it. Just start right away, start making small changes, and if you're actually changing your lifestyle and having filling meals still and like making sure you're satisfied, it won't be an issue. So then the next mistake that we always made was kind of similar, and it was just having an all or nothing mentality. So with this, we really struggled to not get too down on ourselves or just quit if we slipped up or had a higher point meal or something like that, or at the time it'd be like higher calorie, whatever. We would do that and then just be like, okay, we're done, we messed up, we're done. And having that mentality just ruined it for us, because we would be doing so well sometimes too, and then you have one slip up, you have one meal where we would eat out or something and then feel like we just like lost all our progress, and then we would just keep going down that path. And so now I have the mentality where if I have a cheat meal, if I have a high point drink or food or something like that, I track it and I move on. And my next meal could either be another meal like that or it could be something healthy. I make the decision to do that, but as long as I'm tracking everything and just getting over it, not dwelling on it, not feeling bad or not thinking I messed up, then you will be able to keep going consistently. And that's what was huge with like being able to stay consistent with this lifestyle, is that I knew that it's about balance. I knew that I was going to have some higher point meals, and I didn't let that get to me. And honestly, sometimes I did, and I do still, and it is a mental thing that I'm working on, but I haven't had that all or nothing mentality anymore where it's like, okay, we slipped up enough times, we're done. We didn't, like, we're off track. We might as well just give up. And so not thinking that way. And so much of that also was in my mind and the way I talk to myself, and just having like negative thoughts about it. Like, oh my gosh, why would you do this? Like, how did you mess up? How did you choose food over your consistency? Like, I would have those thoughts in my head, and that would hold me back too. So I'm not hard on myself when I do that. And when I have like a treat meal, I'm not dwelling on it. I'm not letting it consume me, because that's what I used to do. And then that would just get me off track in the long run. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, which I've talked about before, and that is just using exercise to justify what I was eating pretty much. So when I used to track with my FitPal and I did calories, I loved tracking my workouts to see how many calories I burned, which probably wasn't even close to accurate, honestly. I don't know if it would have been higher or lower. I don't know how accurate really the tracking is for the workouts I was doing, but like I would go on a long run. I would run for even like an hour and come home, and then we would just scarf food down because I saw that I had 600 calories, which really 600 calories isn't that much when you look at what I was eating after to like make up for it. Like I would be eating like 1,500 calories thinking that it was what I just burned working out, and it wasn't. And so I think so many people focus on the exercise and that's what they think is going to help them lose weight. And exercise is good, but I've mentioned before, I didn't incorporate exercise on my journey until 3 months in. And I think that was huge and just such a game changer for me, because for 3 months I was able to focus on portion sizes and just dealing with cravings and measuring out my food and making these filling meals that I was just so focused on that I didn't even worry about the exercise. Learning the nutrition and everything helped me so much to be able to then incorporate exercise and not rely on it. Because I think so many people rely on their exercise. They think, oh, I went and did my workout today, so now I'm good. But really, you should be doing that on top of the healthy choices you're making with food. And so a lot of times I used my exercise to justify my food choices that weren't the best. And I don't know, I just think a lot of times I thought that what I was burning was way more than what I actually was, and I would just use that to justify what I was eating. So I think waiting to incorporate exercise and not relying on it, and now exercise is just something extra. It's just something I'm doing more to build muscle and to feel good and to get flexible. And like I'm doing all these things for other reasons other than losing weight, and my food choices are still my main source of like if I want to lose weight. And so I think that's a huge mistake I was making, was allowing exercise to be like an excuse to keep eating more or not focus on my nutrition because I thought I'm taking care of it by doing exercise. So I hope you guys found this helpful. And again, these were just 3 mistakes that I was making that were really holding me back from losing weight before we started WW. A lot of it has had to do with my mindset and the way I talk to myself and the way I think about things, but it really has helped me to overcome these, and it's helped on my weight loss journey. So hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you next time.